pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed. So for today's episode, it's like no one ever listens to rhyme or reason when it comes to my words. Because going on for about 7 years almost, the franchise itself has had a lot of things to do when it comes to debate on whether or not names should in fact have something to do with pretty much eliminating confusion at all costs. Now, from my perspective, of course, I don't really have anything against Hasbro or anything against anybody else who has in fact been responsible for production or design of blasters themselves that we've had for the past 15-20 years, but something's probably got to give at this point, because lately I've been noticing a lot of reskins, recolors, and rebrandings of a lot of blasters. And yet, old names that have already been used are still being plastered on. Now, of course, I should probably touch up on a couple things right now. There are, of course, newer brands out there like the Alpha Strike lineup, and at that point it pretty much started with some animalistic names out there like the wolf, the tiger, the lynx, and then later on they just changed back to traditional Nerf names. And the same thing would go with Rivals blasters out there. Throughout the last 4 or 5 years, we've been having blasters that have been named after Greek mythological figures or Roman mythological figures out there. And since the end of 2019, with the introduction of the Knockout blaster, which is basically Rivals' version of a Jolt-like blaster, that's pretty much when Nerf decided to stop giving Greek or Roman mythological names to their blasters in the Rivals lineup and instead stick to more traditional ones. To that I just ask, what are you thinking? What on earth are people even thinking nowadays? You were doing so well, giving out a great tradition of putting Greek or Roman names on Rivals blasters, and then you all of a sudden want to go back to having traditional names or something like that. And that just, it's pretty annoying actually. It's kind of a mystery exactly why people just don't really seem to understand the rhyme or reason about it. But as with Alpha Strike blasters, I mean, it certainly hasn't got big enough, even though there are in fact 9 blasters out there in total. And there is going to be another one out there called the Uppercut, but of course there are currently 3 Alpha Strike blasters which do in fact have traditional Nerf names. But that, of course, is something that I would in fact want to just fix up on, because in terms of reskins, recolors, rebranding, I feel like that anything that's done should always be given a new name whenever possible. Even if it's a different shell, even if it's a different anything, shouldn't be possible to just simply recycle names, because that, of course, would utter in a lot of confusion. There are 2 Titans that we have right now. There's a rocket launcher and a minigun, only one of which should be known as the Titan. I'd say it's the rocket launcher that should be called the Titan. As for, well, other blasters that just recycle some of the same names, I'd say a lot of stuff still has to really be reviewed or something like that. I've already come up with alternative names for a ton of these blasters that have had the same names as their older counterparts, but it's just getting crazy. It's getting pretty, well, ridiculous in a way. And that's something that doesn't really make me happy. I'm pretty sure other people might feel the same way as well. So, I mean, I guess I should calm down now because, well, there's a lot of other things I'd probably want to go on. Because compared to video games, for example, Chex Quest and Doom, they both have something in common. They're first-person shooters. And how about Wolfenstein and Super Noah's Ark 3D? Yeah. Hopefully that's the last time I'll ever have to refer to that. So, that's just one comparison that I've got out of many that I could potentially find, but I guess there's a lot more to it than I could possibly ever think of. So, I mean, I guess we'd probably let that be, and for those who probably would seem to agree with me, then, well, put a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and, well, I'm gonna have to resort to my 5-finger thing again. Well, if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.